just get better, stronger, richer, ... Or how to get so good they can't deny you. I love this stuff. So I was sharing with the folks in the studio this morning that my golf game has been trending in the right direction. But if you were watching my Instagram story on Saturday, you know that I was playing golf with my son-in-law, and who, by the way, the last time we played before that, I beat him by 9 strokes. I'm just saying that right now on the video, getting it out there in the open, okay? I played with my son-in-law, I played with Paul, I played with Ray and me. But I got my new golf clubs on Friday, golf clubs that I got fitted for. My golf club was trending in such a good direction, I thought I'm gonna be a scratch golfer by the end of August, right? Not really, but anyway, scratch golfer means I can shoot even par, because I had an even par front 9 at Tampa Palms a couple weeks ago. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. You know, this is going in a good direction. Now I've got new golf clubs, new technology. I can hit the ball farther with this new technology. I can hit it straighter. And Saturday, my second time playing with these new golf clubs, I couldn't hit the ball to save my grandmother's life. It was so sad. I got beat in front of my Instagram following, because I storied the whole thing and then told them how bad I got beat. My son-in-law beat me by 17 strokes. I got beat down. And I can blame it on the clubs. And I can blame it on the fact that I didn't have enough time to practice, but I practiced for an hour and a half before I got started. I can blame it on the fact that I didn't have new golf clubs long enough. But I'm gonna blame it on the fact that that day I was just not good enough. Wow. That's kind of responsibility, isn't it? I'm not gonna blame it on them. I'm not gonna blame it on the clubs, because I could have played with my old clubs. Just because I got my new clubs didn't mean I need to play with my new clubs, did it? No. I could have practiced with my new clubs and played my old clubs. But no, I'm gonna play these new clubs because it's gonna give me an advantage. But it didn't. And just like me and my golf game, it went from trending in the right direction to all the way backwards, like in reverse in 5th gear. Like, it was crazy. That's how some of the things in your life feel, I'm sure. And so, my recommendation is just get better. There are a lot of people, their only solution is to complain about the way things are. And they think complaining about the way things are somehow gonna make everybody feel sorry for them, or make everybody else go out and do something that's gonna fix it so their life can get better. I'm gonna tell you something. Your life doesn't get better when it gets better. Your life gets better when you get better. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I said it out loud. Just get better. I'm not saying there are no opposing forces in life. All of the strength that you have, whatever strength that you have in your life, you have because of opposing forces. If there were no opposing forces, there could be no strength. Maybe that's why God tells us to be thankful in everything and to be thankful for everything, even opposing forces. In the book of Psalms, David said, "Teach me to know joy and gladness," watch this now, "that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice." Not some different bones, but the bones that you've broken, that those bones might rejoice. Let me ask you a question. Do you have the ability to be joyful in brokenness? And if you don't have the ability to be joyful in brokenness, do you have the willingness to learn to have the ability to be joyful in brokenness? Do you have the ability to take responsibility for the way your life ain't working? Or are you gonna blame it on, it's world? I'm a black man in a white man's world. I'm a tall person in a short person's world. I'm not saying that none of those problems exist. I'm saying if those problems exist, they don't exist in a vacuum just to stop you. As much as the enemy sent any force to stop you, God ordained that the enemy send that force to strengthen you. No, the reason I'm struggling is because of racism. No, the reason you're struggling is because you think the reason you're struggling is because of racism. I'm not saying racism is not real. I have a brace on my leg. I have a metal You can hear it, metal brace on my leg. When I walk, I have to have this brace on my leg for the time being. I'm working on some biohacking stuff though. Okay, so I'm just saying, because everything can be worked on. Now, everything might not be able to be improved, but if I work on something that can improve, at least I improve by working on it. Just get better. You can complain about the government or you can get better. You can complain about your family or you can get better. You can complain about your church or you can get better. You can complain about your job or get better. You can complain about your golf game or get better. You can complain about, oh, I got bad knees. You don't have bad knees. You have good knees that are doing the best they can with as bad as you've treated them. Did I come out swinging a little bit too hard this morning? Because I can pump the brakes. I can slow it down. So just get better. You know, I used to think, well, they won't give me any opportunities. Great. Do you understand? If nobody will give you an opportunity, that is an opportunity. That's an opportunity for you to get so good that they don't need to give you an opportunity. How good you are creates your opportunity. What? I'm not making this up. These are principles that exist. You think, okay, I can say this. Okay, I'm gonna not say this really loud and intense because I don't like hype, and I don't want people to listen. I don't want people to believe it because I'm saying it with intensity. I want people to believe it because it's truth. Like, I can speak to black people in a way that white people ought not, because you haven't had our experience. Does that make sense? So, a white person has no business telling black people to get over the struggle that's residual as a result of the enslavement of our ancestors. That's real, right? No white person, in my opinion, no white person has the right. You haven't earned the right. You can't even begin to understand. However, I'm a black man. I was born in a segregated hospital. Contracted polio as an infant as a result of that after the polio vaccine was discovered. And yet and still, I've had people deny me because I walk with a limp. I've had people deny me because I'm black. I've been denied jobs. I've been denied opportunities. But guess what? I worked on me. I didn't attempt to fix the system because I realize now that the system is not broken. It is doing exactly what it is designed to do. But guess what? If Frederick Douglass didn't need him to fix the system for him to be free, I wasn't born a slave. As badly as I've had it, I didn't have it as badly as he did. Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, they didn't need somebody to fix the system for them to be free and to free other people. Your belief that your problem is the result of a contributing factor that you think is a determining factor is your delusion that could potentially lead to your destruction. And I'm not saying that the opposing forces aren't real. I'm saying they don't matter more than your God-given ability to overcome them. Is that too tough? Ladies, oh, I'm a woman in this man's world. No, stop it. Stop it. There are too many women who've accomplished too many great things in a man's world for you to pretend. And I get it. I'm not a woman, so I'm not telling you to get over it. I'm just telling you to look in the mirror and stop giving people your power. When you say the reason my life isn't working is because of them, you are giving them all of your power, whoever they are. It doesn't matter who the they are, because they are just they. They ain't me. And bigger than that, they ain't we. We who? Me and God. Better yet, God and me. Y'all ain't bigger than God and me. Goliath, you ain't bigger. David said, Goliath, you ain't bigger than God and me. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, Nebuchadnezzar, you ain't bigger than God and me. And your problem is you believe in the size and the power and the will of the opposing forces more than you believe in the God who made you for a purpose and the purpose for which you were made. Stop it. I look at people like Johnny Erickson Tata, who's a quadriplegic, and her ministry has reached tens of millions of people around the world. And you think you have, I've seen, it doesn't matter how much of a struggle you're in. There are people who've done more with less. Even me, there are people who've done way more than I've done who started out with way less than I've had. How dare I blame it on them because I'm unwilling to change and grow and get better? All I'm saying is this. Here's what I know. You may not be as good as you need to be. That may be true. But you don't have to be as good as you're going to be because you can get better. You can get so good they can't deny you. I remember when I was an evangelist and I was traveling around speaking in churches, just preaching and sharing, like same stuff I do on my Bible study channel, same stuff I do here, same stuff I do in churches now, same messages, same guy. Handful of churches would have me come speak at their churches every year. I'm like, why don't I go to these conferences, all these, and people are talking about, and the stuff they're teaching, I'm like, that's like, what they talked about wasn't even that good. Wasn't even that helpful. Why am I not getting invited? And guess what? I didn't fight for the right to be on somebody else's platform. I just found a little street corner called YouTube and turned on a camera and a microphone and started teaching the stuff I knew. And guess what happened? People showed up because they could tell. They cared about what I had to say because they could tell that I cared enough to figure it out and say it. I'm not smarter than you. I just did it. I'm just doing it. By the way, when I say good, like I know, like I am not the greatest speaker in the world and I don't pretend to be. It's okay, and I'm okay with that. I'm a very good student. I am one of the best students in the world of the things I study. And as a good student, guess what that gives me the ability to be, if I'll practice, a good teacher. I'm a way better teacher than I am a speaker. I'm a way better student than I'm a speaker. But I'd rather be a good student who knows what I know and I'm willing to learn what I don't know so I don't have to be afraid of the things that I disagree with. Why don't I have to be afraid of them? Because if I'm wrong, I want to know. And I want to know as soon as possible so I can change as quickly as possible so I can do better sooner rather than later. But most of us got our heels so dug into our beliefs that we will not get better because we want the world to get better to make room for our unwillingness and our belief in our inability to get better. You don't have an inability to get better. The thing that you were made to do is get better. The first thing that God ever said to a human being, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion. Have dominion? You're supposed to be ruling over something. That's the first thing God ever said to a human being. What did the psalmist say? O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Thou set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thy enemy. And then he says, what is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the son of man that thou visitest him? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, watch this now, and crowned him. And crowned him? And crowned him. God put a crown on my head. God put a crown on your head. That crown is to rule over an assignment and to use the assignment that you rule over to serve people. And when you get really, really good at yielding to God and serving people, you'll be so good, they can't ignore you. They can't deny you. They can't reject you. You're too good. Everybody will look at them like they're a fool. What do you mean you don't? This is them. Don't you see how good they are? You can, like, you don't, you don't even, when you get really, really good, so good they can't deny you, you don't have to tell people how good you are. Other people will do that for you. So good they can't deny you. But get so strong they can't break you. One of the reasons people don't get good enough to not be denied is because they're weak. They're mentally weak, physically weak, spiritually weak. Get stronger. There are so many opportunities for us to get stronger. Don't curse your curses. You know, one of the things, fascinating, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but when God put Adam and Eve out of the garden, the thing that he said to the man was, cursed be the ground. What did he say? For your sake. Wait, I'm cursing the ground for your sake? How's that for me? Like if you're cursing the ground, if it's a curse, how could it be for me? Is that a good question? And I'm like, what? I'm like, I wonder what he means by that. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. Why did God curse the ground for the sake of man? Because in the garden, the ground was not cursed. In the garden, the fruit trees yielded their fruit effortlessly. The crops yielded their vegetables effortlessly. The Garden of Eden, garden, protected place. Garden means enclosure. Eden means pleasure. So the Garden of Eden was the protected place of pleasure and provision. When after man sinned, God put Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden, where they were no longer in a protected environment. God cursed the ground for man's sake, I believe, because they would have to be stronger in the out of the garden environment than they needed to be in the garden environment. And in order for you to get stronger, I have to make work harder for your sake. Get so strong they can't break you. So there is a war against you. Like the enemy has a desire to kill you with a very old weapon. It is the oldest weapon on earth. Y'all know what it is, don't you? What is it? No. Food. The food companies are at war with the people they sell food to. What does that mean? That means they put all kinds of garbage, junk, and chemicals in their so-called food to get us addicted. So we become weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Do you not find it fascinating? I find it fascinating that there's a Food and Drug Administration. I was thinking about that. Food and Drug Administration. What does that even mean? Like, what does food have to do with drugs? What do drugs have to do with food? Oh, the food makes us sick, and the drugs make us sicker. They're a machine that feeds each other's money machine at our expense. There's a book called The Brain Warrior's Way. I don't know if any of y'all have read it, but The Brain Warrior's Way. Like, literally, they make food that make us cognitively impaired. So, I've had a history of gallstones, right, since 2007. Did you get your gallbladder removed? No. Are you going to get your gallbladder removed? No. God thought I needed it. I'm probably going to keep it. Just saying. So, he thought I needed enough to put it in there. I'm going to be smart enough to keep it in there. Okay, so, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If all you have is a scalpel, everything looks like a surgery. Hashtag, just saying. Okay, so every year, at least twice a year, I have to do a gallbladder liver cleanse. And sometimes I forget. So I thought that my back was hurting because I was playing too much golf and I wasn't strong enough. And I was like, oh, my gallbladder's acting up again. Oh, I'll just do a cleanse. And then while I was thinking about it, I said, you know what? I'm doing this. I might as well do a Daniel cleanse. You remember the Daniel cleanse in Daniel chapter 3? When they I love a good steak, especially a good Eddie V's steak. If Henry is on the grill, okay. If Henry's not on the grill, I get chicken. I'm just saying. But if Henry's on the grill, steak. Oh no, I got to find out which chef is working. You know you got to do this thing right? Okay. Or I like to make a steak myself on the grill at home or in the air fryer. If I'm going to eat, I want it to taste good, right? Anyway, so I like a good steak, like chicken, fish, all of it. But I said, if Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego only ate vegetables and water for 10 days, and they were 10 times better than all of the other eunuchs, it might be a good idea for me to put a 10 times better 10-day Daniel routine on them. So I started on the 14th, and I feel so good. Played golf yesterday, came home, was going to take a nap, never got around to it. Didn't get a square to it or a triangle to it either. Never mind. Y'all get that one on the way home. But I never got around to it. So I decided, I haven't worked out since Thursday. I'm working out tonight. So I worked out last night. Weighted vest, tonal, whole nine, everything, all my workout. Why? Because there's no such thing as staying the same. You are either getting better or you are getting worse. If I am not getting stronger, I am by default getting weaker. If I don't design my life to get better, by default, I will get worse. If I don't design my body to get stronger, by default, it will get weaker. I don't have to have any intention to get weaker. Become so strong that if I'm doing physical activity, I remember one time I was in Boise, Idaho, and I picked up my bag and put it in my trunk, and it messed up my shoulder. My shoulder was messed up for like 9 months. I had frozen shoulder. But now, when I'm in there, I'm thinking, this is so heavy, I should lighten it. No, shoulder boulders. My health coach said shoulder boulders. I'm doing my workout, and it hurts. It's not fun, and I don't like exercise. Exercise likes me, though. Treats me very well. After it treats me very, very bad, right? It's kind of how life works sometimes. Get so strong, they can't break you. Get so strong that while you're being good, you don't run out of energy in the fourth quarter. I remember when I was coaching my boys in high school basketball, and I didn't really know that much about basketball. But I knew about winning. And my sons were very good at basketball too, that helped. But our team, so they went to a small Christian school in Jacksonville. Our school was the worst school in the district. Don't know that they had ever won a game. Maybe they'd won one game in the school's history. We get down to the district championships, and the district champions invite our team to their court for their homecoming. But we had one philosophy in practice. This is the main philosophy. Run and do suicides. Why? They may outplay us in the fourth quarter, but they will not out-energy us in the fourth quarter. We will have more energy in the fourth quarter than anyone who's ever played the game. So at practice, run. I'm going to die. Well, until you die, run. My chest is going to explode. Until it explodes, run. Do you know what happened at this homecoming game? My oldest son, Adam, God rest his soul, he got, in 10th grade, 54 points against the district champions, and we beat that school in the first time in both schools' history. They were district champs many years in a row, state champs many years in a row. They invited us so they could mop up the floor with us. Not that time. Be so strong. Be so strong, they can't break you. Okay, some of y'all ain't gonna like this one, but I ain't gonna change it. Get so rich they can't buy you. Do you understand how many powers there are out there that attempt to manipulate people with money? You get so rich they can't buy you. Not for sale. I love what happened in Genesis 14. God comes to Abram, the father of the faithful. He comes to him in Genesis chapter 12. He says, here, Abram, if you will leave, I just had this realization last week. He said, Abram, if you will leave the land of the familiar. By the way, that is what God is calling all of us to every day, every week, every month of our life. Leave the land of the familiar. You already know everything there is to know there. But worse than that, everyone there only knows you as who you are, and they will not accept you as who you're going to be. Leave the land of the familiar. So leave. Cool. He leaves. He said, if you'll leave the land of the familiar, I'm going to bless you in ways you can't bless yourself. I'm going to give you things you can't get yourself. I'm going to take the source of your shame and make it the source of your fame. I'm going to bless those that bless you, curse those that curse you. And in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. Abram goes to Sarai and says, baby, we moving. Hey, y'all know ladies have questions, right? Y'all also know men don't always have answers. Can I get a witness? Sarai asks, where are we going? Abram's like, I don't know, but we leaving here. Why are we leaving? God said so. Well, okay. How will we know when we get there? God said he'll show me when we get there. God is calling all of us Why is he calling us away from the land of the familiar? Because trust in his plan is more valuable for your progress than certainty in your position. Do you understand that? And he said, I'm going to call you away from what you know, and I'm going to take you on a journey. And while you're on that journey, you will know you're not where you were, but you won't know you are there until you get there, and I show you that there is there. That's wild. So the next chapter tells us, and Abram was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. He left. He got rich. By the way, that's the first time the word rich is used in the Bible. A lot of y'all don't like the word rich. I like the word rich. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. I like that. The hand of the diligent maketh rich, but the slothful shall be under tribute. I like that. I like the word rich. I like the word wealthy. I like the word prosperity. I like the word abundance. All of them. Why? They're all Bible words. I like them. I'm good. Get so rich they can't buy you. So here's what happened. Lot, Abram's nephew, goes down to Sodom. 5 kings rise up against Sodom and Gomorrah, take Lot and everybody in Sodom and all the wealth of Sodom and Gomorrah and take it captive. Somebody came and told Abram, he said, oh, no, you didn't. 318 of y'all, get your stuff. Get your weapons, let's go. We're going to go get my nephew. This businessman goes out and wages war against 5 nations and wins. Talk about favor. How in the world could he go out and challenge 5 nations? Because God had already given him a promise. If you leave, I'm going to bless you in ways you can't bless yourself. He hadn't received the blessing yet. He knew he was invincible as long as he was yielded to God's purpose. Are y'all tracking? So then he goes out, wages war, he wins. The king of Sodom says, oh, you can keep all the stuff. He said, I ain't keeping nothing. I ain't for sale. He said, the reason I'm not keeping anything is because I don't want you to be able to say that you made Abram rich. See, everybody that wants to pay you is not a good person to get paid from. How many of y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And sometimes, so for me, here's one of the things I love to do. I love speaking in churches. So if you're a pastor, I'm just putting this out there for you. I love speaking in churches. I don't charge churches anything. I do have them pay my expenses to get to where I'm going. So if you're in Tampa or Lakeland or, Orlando, somewhere close by, that's good for you because, I only fly private. And so, but I pay for it. But if a church wants me to come speak, you got to pay for it. If you want me to come to California, speak at your church, you got to pay for my jet. You don't have to pay me anything. Okay. But you don't have to have me come. I'm not asking, I can stay in Tampa. I like Tampa. Okay. I'm way better than I like California. Okay. But I don't charge churches. Why? Because I don't need to. And by the way, when I speak at churches, you don't get to determine what I talk about. Can I tell you something else? When I speak at businesses, they don't get to determine what I talk about. I am not for sale. I am so rich they can't buy me. Hey, Myron, you come and speak at our conference, but you can't talk about God. No, you want Byron. You don't want Myron. Myron don't go anywhere by himself. Myron, you can come speak at our church, but we don't want you talking about business. You don't want me. You want somebody else. Go get the puppet you want. I ain't he. You don't get to determine what I talk about. If you believe that God has shown me what to talk about at your church, you don't get to tell me. And if you don't believe that God can talk to me as good as he can talk to you, invite somebody else. I'm so cool with it, I don't want to fool with it. In your lane, whatever your lane is, get to the place where you are not so desperate for money, you have to say yes to every snake that comes along with an offer. Okay. Hopefully y'all picking up what I'm putting down. I've got people come, well, Myron, I want to buy your, but you have to do this, this, and this. You ain't buying nothing from me. I don't need your money. Don't need it. Don't want it. Keep it. Keep it. I love you. Let me love you from a distance. Because I don't want to love you up close. Okay, get so rich they can't buy you. Get so smart, better yet, so wise. Get so smart they can't fool you. We live in a world of propaganda. Most of what you think is news is propaganda. On all sides, left side, right side, conservative side, liberal side, most of what you see is propaganda. Don't get your truth from media, because your truth will be riddled with error. Okay, I'm going to save that for a Bible study. But I'm going to tell you something. I watched a video last night. Do y'all know who Peter Thiel is? Anybody know who Peter Thiel is? Peter Thiel is an investor, right? He's a multi-billionaire investor. He was one of the founders of Facebook. I mean, one of the founders, not Facebook, of PayPal, one of the original investors in Facebook. Multi-billionaires, written several books, blah, blah, blah. Great. I watched an podcast interview last night. A dude was interviewing Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel talking about how technology is going to be probably the tool that ushers in the Antichrist. Peter Thiel, a marketplace billionaire, is using the term Antichrist. Were y'all shocked? Anyway, one of the things I noticed, people are so easily deceived is because they don't know the word. If you don't know the truth of God's word, if you don't have a foundation of truth, any lie that sounds good will deceive you. That's why people are so deceived. That's why there's so many people who are so deceived by homosexuality, by sexual promiscuity. So many people are deceived by so-called, and I'm going to say it like this, and some of you ain't going to like it. Oh, well, just go start your own channel. Make your videos. I'll watch them, I promise. Okay, so maybe, if they're good. So-called Islamophobia. And attempting to make people believe that that's similar to anti-Semitism. It's not even close. It's not even close. I've never seen a Jewish person say, ever, not one. And I've been to Israel multiple times. So I'm not saying all Jews are perfect, because they're not. I'm not saying Israel's perfect, because it's not. I'm just saying I've never heard anybody in Israel or from Israel say, our objective is to wipe out all Muslims. But I've heard many Muslims say that our objective is to wipe out all Jews. I'm fascinated that people can't see the difference, and they try to act like it's the same thing. Why? Because we've been propagandized to believe that the conversation is equal on both sides. But anyway, I'm going to do a Bible study on that conversation in way more detail. But get so smart they can't fool you. Get so smart that people can't fool you with scams. By the way, while we're talking about so smart they can't fool you, there's a stupid YouTube channel. All of you, for those of you who love truth and love the stuff I teach and don't want to be deceived and don't want other people to be deceived, there's this new YouTube channel called Myron Golden Tracks. It has nothing to do with me. It literally has videos. I saw one video that has 179,000 views. Those people think that's me. If it ain't me and I ain't sitting here talking in my chair, they got a video, they got like a moving background and an image of me and all these words, and it sounds really super raspy and super corporate-y. None of those channels are me. I have three YouTube channels. I've got Myron Golden Shorts, Myron Golden Bible Study, and Myron Golden. Anything else is fake AI propaganda, and some of y'all are going to be deceived by it. And what you're going to do is you're going to subscribe to those channels. And then those people are going to start inboxing you, and they're going to start telling you to send them a WhatsApp, and then they're going to tell you, I've got this crypto thing that I want you to invest in. I've never done any of that. So it's not me. Get smart enough not to be deceived by AI, because AI will be a weapon of the enemy, a weapon of deception by the enemy to deceive many. It already is, yes. So get so smart they can't. Like, get so familiar with AI that you recognize AI from reality, from human intelligence. Okay, because a lot of artificial intelligence has a lot of artificial messages and a whole lot of artificial other stuff, and they're about to send you some artificial value for some of your real money, pretending that they're me and other people. Like I see AI videos of Jordan Peterson. I see AI videos of Miles Monroe. I see all these different, you spend your whole life building a reputation and building a name, and then somebody comes along and they utilize AI to steal the attention of people who'd rather be paying attention to you. Don't be deceived by it. Okay. Get so smart they can't fool you. Get so connected they can't isolate you. God put us here by ourselves, but he did not put us here for ourselves. Get so connected. One of the reasons God put us here is to connect with other people. You are in danger if you have no friends. Your future is in grave danger if you have no friends, if you have no connections, if you don't have people other than your family that you regularly spend time with. Some of you ain't even connected with your family. You're disconnected from mama, daddy, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandmama, granddaddy, and you're disconnected from friends, family. Nah, man, people just don't do me right, so I'm just going to be an island. Okay, you're going to be an island that's going to sink in the middle of an ocean. None of us is more than, somebody did a study and discovered that there's only 6 degrees of separation between us and anybody we want to meet. So connected. They can't isolate you. Have so many connections, so many people that you provided value for. You remember the story in Luke where the unjust steward, and he's not been faithful to his management, and he says, his boss says, hey, you bring me my money, because if you don't, it's a wrap. So he goes to one. How much do you owe my boss? You owe him 10 talents? Okay, write 5. How much do you owe him? You owe him 20, write 10. Okay, how much do you owe him? You owe him 6, write 3, right? And so he goes out and he makes friends with people in the marketplace so that when he loses his job, he has somebody's couch he can sleep on. God did not put any of us here for us to be in the world by ourselves. To have a bigger network is valuable for you. So be so connected they can't isolate you. You ready? Y'all ready? Say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Be so free they can't manipulate you. I'm going to give you the Myron Golden definition of freedom. This seems to be a really, really good definition of freedom. Nothing to lose. Nothing to gain. Nothing to hide. Nothing to prove. I got nothing to lose. Well, Myron, you got something to lose. You can lose all your money. Yeah, but it's just money. You lose your house. Yeah, but it's just a house. There are a lot of people who live without a house. And if I lose it, it was not God's ordained will for me to have it anyway. So if I lose it, I lose it. I can get another one. I've lost houses before. Well, I've lost a house before. Had to sell it on a short sale for $400,000 less than I paid for it. Guess what? I have another house. You can lose your cars. Yeah, I lost cars before. Some got me repossessed, some got me possessed. Repossessed is when they come get it. Me possessed is when you take it back to them. Yeah, they can come get all your crypto. They can come get all your money. It's just stuff. Nothing to lose. Nothing to gain. And when I say nothing to gain, that doesn't mean you can't gain anything. That means you don't have to think about what you're going to get out of the deal while you're doing the deal. I'm disconnected from what I get. I get something, but I'm going to make sure that if I'm doing a deal with you, Jaron, if I do a deal with you, here's what I know that I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that you are getting more out of the deal than I am. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you get more out of the deal than I am. Why? I just found that to be a way that works really, really well. You'll get more than I will, but I'll get enough that it's going to be okay. Nothing to gain. Like, I'm not going to make a what? Proclivity. So God didn't give me the ability to play the guitar, but he gave me the proclivity to practice enough to get relatively good at the guitar. God didn't give me the ability to speak. He gave me the proclivity to want to be able to speak in such a way that what I say is so crystal clear that it is incontrovertible. Do you see the difference? And so if you take your proclivity and then you practice it more than you perform it, then you become a professional. What's a professional? A professional is someone who prepares and practices 4 to 10 times more than they perform. What's an amateur? Somebody who performs 4 to 10 times more than they prepare or practice. That's the difference in every arena. And so you can become so skilled, everybody thinks it's talent. Oh, you're just naturally good at that. I'm telling you, when I was born, I was not naturally good at stabilizing my head with my neck. My mom had to hold my head. This big old head. My head was the same size when I was born, probably. Like this big. Hold his head when you pick him up. Like, I was like a little bobblehead baby. I wasn't good at anything. Neither were you. So why not pick something that serves other people at a high level and practice and prepare at that thing so much that you become so skilled, other people think it's talent. Guess what happens then? If you will work on these 7 things, I think in the very near future, you will look in the very rear view mirror and see that you are so good. It doesn't matter who the opposing forces are. It doesn't matter who the victimizers are. It doesn't matter who the oppressors are. You are now so good, they can't deny you. By the way, all throughout history, all throughout human history, there have been people who have become so undeniably good in the wilderness tending the sheep that when the giant showed up, they were able to slay them. Decision based on what I get out of the deal. I'm going to make a decision based on whether or not it's right or wrong for me to make the decision. If it's wrong for me to make the decision, I'm not making it. Say less, do more. So be so free. That's what I love about Jesus. He was so free they couldn't manipulate him. Didn't matter what question they asked him, he had an answer for it. Why? Because he was totally disconnected. He had nothing to gain. He had nothing to lose. He said, no man can take my life. I lay it down. We'll kill you. That's okay. I'm going to lay down my life anyway. It's all good. They tried to make him look bad. He's like, I'm not trying to look good, so you can't make me look bad. I don't care how I look. I'm not trying to impress people. Nothing to lose, nothing to hide, nothing to gain, nothing to prove. And then, lastly, be so skilled they think it's talent. I was thinking about this on my way to the studio this morning. When I think of talent, when most people think of talent, they think, oh, you just have a gift from God. You're such a talented musician. Right. But you're actually a skilled musician. Most people think that talent is a God-given ability. I don't think talent's a God-given ability. Because the reality is, none of us were born being able to play the piano or the guitar. You weren't born being able to sing. In fact, you weren't even born being able to talk. So is it really a talent? Or is it a skill that you've developed either on the foreground or in the background? See, I don't believe that talent is a God-given ability. I believe that talent is a God-given proclivity. What is a proclivity? My inclination to do something and enjoy